yes, of course, what happened was tragic, but Secretary Clinton was not in any way at fault. And what you have here with his emails is basically a witch hunt. And you know, Congressman Gowdy, who is leading this, is very intentionally trying to manipulate this witch hunt to play politics. That's unfortunate, and it's one of the reasons that Congress has a 19% approval rating.
All right, that's Mr. Castro, one of the Castro brothers, HUD Secretary Julián Castro, who many say might be Hillary's number 2 on the ticket. Joining us now is Ken Cuccinelli, former Attorney General of Virginia, President of the Senate Conservative Fund. Ken, welcome, sir.
Good to be with you.
So much to talk about, but if I just want to touch on this real quickly here, because if he is going to become, you know, one of the spokespeople for Hillary, and if he winds up on the ticket, you know, just saying that, nobody wants to talk about this, it's a witch hunt when it comes to Hillary and her emails and the whole thing, I wonder if that's not a very flawed strategy.
That, you know, that's his job, right? And let's be clear, he's already a spokesman for Hillary Clinton. It may just be informal right now, with the prospect of becoming more formal later. If I, a state attorney general, had been hiding 50,000 pages of email, there'd be a national furor by the Democrats. But when the Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, does it, the spin machine goes into full gear to try and say how unimportant it is. That's ridiculous.
No,
and given her track record and the Clinton track record, the notion that these were destroyed because they aren't important, nobody believes that. There isn't an American alive who believes that.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, let's talk about the Senate. As, of course, president of the Senate Conservative Fund, explain to people why Mitch McConnell and the Republicans in the Senate are working with Barack Obama to pass this trade pact, which many, you know, most Democrats are saying no one knows what's in it. It's too secretive. We got to know what's in it, and it shouldn't be. You shouldn't give him carte blanche like this.
Well, and of all people to be trusting this president, as I recall, every one of those Republicans elected in 2014 ran against exactly giving this kind of power and authority to the president. So here they are doing it, and leading the pack is Senator Surrender himself, Mitch McConnell. And, you know, he never fights so hard against the president as he does to advance the president's power and agenda. You know, he said, I won't let the Senate go into recess if we don't resolve what the president wants here on this trade authority. But remember back on the executive amnesty, he wasn't going to hold the Senate out of a recess to try and defund executive amnesty. So he'll go to the mat, Senator McConnell will go to the mat to fight for more power and authority for the president when, as you point out, and as the Democrats have pointed out, we don't even know what's in this trade deal.
So what's his motivation? Now, I know there's also something with a bank, the Export-Import Bank, XIM Corporate Welfare Program, as some call it. Explain that one that McConnell is in favor of championing here.
Yes, this is one of those where McConnell wants to say he's against it all the way through, but everything he does is to make sure it passes. So to give you an example, he could keep the Export-Import Bank off the floor of the Senate, which is what he does when he opposes conservative legislation or conservative amendments like Tom Cotton's amendments on Iran or Ron Johnson's amendments on Obamacare or Rand Paul's amendments on the NSA. When he's fighting conservative Republicans, that's the tactic he uses. So I think we can safely say that Senator McConnell is not being truthful with us when he says he opposes the Export-Import crony government bank if he's bringing it to the floor as part of this deal as if it's a compromise.
And
this is what he wants to do. And he wants to back into this crony government Export-Import bank.
And I know that people could go to your website, senateconservatives.com, and click on a petition, and by clicking on the link to let McConnell know you want to close the crony bank, as you put it, so people could go to senateconservatives.com. Let me run this by you. This is, I think, 14 Senate Democrats have written a letter urging that we take in 65,000 Syrian refugees each year over the next 2 years. That's 130,000. And citing that one of the reasons being that we did too little during the Holocaust to save the Jews. Now, I mean, I don't see any equivalency there really, but we also don't know what Syrians we'd be letting in.
Well, and that's pretty important, although I will note that for some time under this administration, that's already been a problem. We're letting in an enormous number, both legally and illegally, of folks from disputed areas of the world where Islamic terrorism is rampant, and we're clearly, just statistically, getting some of those folks coming into the country. Why we would invite more potential terrorists into the country, I don't know. The Democrats have their own ideas. They see this as political and in their favor.
Yep.
I think it's just bad national security.
I couldn't agree with you more. Ken, keep up the good work. We really appreciate it. And folks, check out SenateConservatives.com.
Good to be with you, Steve.
Always good to talk to you. All right, we're coming back. The one and only Dick Morris will be here, Newsmax contributor, political strategist, of course, when we come back. And you're not going to want to miss this.